Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into the Eagles Report, and today we have a ton of Philadelphia Eagles news, rumors, a lot of injury news as well, all revolving around the wide receiver positions. Let's go ahead and jump right in with our first bit of news here. DeSean Jackson has undergone core muscle surgery on his abdominal area. He will miss the remainder of the season. He's been placed on IR. Remember, he suffered this core muscle injury the second week of the NFL season in the first quarter against the Atlanta Falcons. He went to multiple specialists, independent doctors, let alone the Eagles doctors, and they basically said you can either have surgery to keep you out for 6 weeks, or you can go ahead and try and do a non-surgical rehab and then come back 6 weeks later as well and avoid surgery. He was advised to not have surgery by the Eagles. He had decided to rehab it. He rehabbed it up, and they decided to give it a go against the Bears on Sunday. He played in one play, had a catch, and that was it. He re-aggravated it and has undergone surgery. He will be done for the year. Now, a couple of things here. He could come back for the playoffs. He is on IR, but he could be designated to return and could return if the Eagles make it into the postseason, but we do not expect to see DeSean Jackson in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform on the field at any point during the regular season. Most frustrating part about this is how it was handled medically. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, you're not a medical doctor, but here's the deal. It doesn't make any sense why he was recommended to not have surgery when both would have taken 6 weeks. Like, you see what I'm saying here? Even if the core muscle injury would have taken 4 weeks to rehab and then 6 weeks to rehab from surgery, it still would have made more sense to get it completely fixed via surgery and then bring him back onto the field. Also, it apparently was way worse than people realized, and if that's the case, why did the Eagles medical staff even let him go out and play against Chicago the day before or the week before a bye week? You could have sat him out of Chicago, given him another week, and then another week before New England. A lot of question marks here about what happened in the DeSean Jackson injury. He posted on social media that he was frustrated about it. Don't know if that's because he's frustrated he's not playing, or if he's frustrated because, they kind of messed his injury up. The Eagles medical staff, definitely some question marks here, but the big news, he will not be back until potentially the playoffs if the Eagles even get there. Okay, that brings us right into our next bit of news here, and that is the Antonio Brown saga that is starting to brew, especially on social media, in Philadelphia. Now, right now, Antonio Brown, technically a free agent. He can sign with anyone. Eagles need help at wide receiver, and today on ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith was talking about how the Eagles should try and sign Antonio Brown because he would greatly bolster the Eagles' wide receiver position. Now, this is very true. He would definitely be the best receiver on the Eagles right now, and the Eagles are having an abysmal year from Alshon Jeffrey, from Mack Hollins, who has no catches in 6 games, no targets. No, sorry, he has no catches. JJ Arcega-Whiteside has no targets in 6 games, and Nelson Agholor is having a career bad year. So obviously Antonio Brown would come in and be the best receiver on this team. Here's why the Eagles have not signed him yet. Because he still has pending legal investigations. And I mean, it's this whole legal process due to all the different things that's happened off the field that I think teams are worried that he would be signed, and the NFL would complete their investigation, and then he would be suspended. That's the problem right now for AB in Philadelphia, is the worry about him being suspended. Now, a lot of teams have talked about signing Antonio Brown. The Seattle Seahawks had Russell Wilson lobbying to get Antonio Brown before they signed Josh Gordon, but if a team picked Josh Gordon over Antonio Brown, I think that tells you a lot about the idea of him becoming an NFL player so far this year. Now, again, we've heard that there's interest from multiple teams. The Eagles have been linked to Antonio Brown multiple times, but I think we're at a scenario right now where the Eagles will not be bringing in Antonio Brown due to the fact that he probably would not even be eligible to play because he would be suspended. What do you guys think? Should the Eagles just risk it and go ahead and sign Antonio Brown? If it's the right price, why not? But that's my thing. If you get it for cheap, you can bring him on, he gets benched, or he gets suspended, so what? You have 2 active roster spots right now with DeSean Jackson and Sendejo, Jackson going to IR and Sendejo being cut, the safety, so you technically could do it. Now, let me know what you guys think down below. Should the Eagles sign Antonio Brown? Quickly, before we do their final bit of news here, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel yet, we're at 587. Can we get to 600? I would greatly appreciate it. If you are the 700th subscriber between now and next week, you'll get a shout out to start the video next week. So again, if you have not hit subscribe yet, we're building the best Eagles YouTube channel here on the platform. Go ahead and give it a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Finally here's the wide receiver the Eagles will most likely sign. Depending on when you watch this video, he might already be signed, and that is the wide receiver Jordan Matthews. Remember, Jordan Matthews was drafted by Philadelphia in 2014 out of Vanderbilt. He was like one of the best receivers in SEC history, and was up and down, never really blossomed into what people expected him to be. Chip Kelly traded him away, got rid of Jordan Matthews. Actually, not not. I'm thinking of LaShawn McCoy, but they got rid of Jordan Matthews. He went to Buffalo in a trade, came back and re-signed with Philadelphia in 2018. And the numbers weren't great. 28 targets in 14 games, 20 catches for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, but did have a nice playoff game in the New Orleans game in the divisional round. Caught that early touchdown pass that put the Eagles ahead from Nick Foles. They have worked him out. Big news as of tonight. This is going to go out tonight on what is today? On a Tuesday, so if you watch it tomorrow, he might be signed. But they have worked out Jordan Matthews. He was at the NovaCare Complex earlier today. It would make sense that the Eagles are going to go ahead and sign him because he has a very good connection with Carson Wentz. Wentz loves Jordan Matthews, and right now, he'd probably come in and be the 3rd best receiver on this team. Maybe the 2nd best receiver behind, I guess, Alshon Jeffrey, but even that's kind of a stretch. Why not? He's the most likely target for the Eagles to go out and sign right now. What do you guys think? Who should the Eagles sign? They could get anyone right now as a wide receiver. Is Antonio Brown? Is it Matthews? Is it someone else? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. There you go. That's the news right now for today. Obviously, they let go of Sendejo, the safety. They got back a 4th-round compensatory pick. Not a ton of news there, but it does free up a spot. They have 2 open roster spots right now, with Jackson going on IR and Sendejo being cut. They can fill them with whatever they want, whether it's Antonio Brown or a different wide receiver or it's someone else. Look for the Eagles to sign somebody during the bye week. I would put money on Jordan Matthews. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of days. All the time we have for today. If you're not subscribed yet on the Eagles Report, I would greatly appreciate it. But be sure to tune in. We'll do plenty of more videos going on this week. For the Eagles Report, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.